Over the last year, I've severely failed. I wanted to surpass 1,000 subscribers, I wanted to help 1 million people, and I wanted to take a big leap in the right direction to make this into a career. And although I didn't do all that, I've enjoyed many experiences I've had this year, and wrote notes on some of the most captivating lessons I've learned on YouTube and life in general, from some of my biggest I's and broke it down to 7 points, which hopefully you can take home and apply to your own life in some way. Number 1. The struggle is certain, but the success is not. If you're trying day in and day out to get to your goal and fail, everyone's gonna come out and say, I told you so. But if you're doing what you love anyway and gave it your all, then you experience something magical. It should feel good to fail at something you give a shit about, something that makes you feel purposeful. If you went to sleep one day and felt like you didn't do enough, if you love what you do, you'll double down the next day and go harder. You can look at yourself in the mirror and say, I didn't do enough, that's okay, but I still have tomorrow. Don't feel diminished or worthless about it. Take the lesson, go back out there and just get it. Number 2. I've learnt not to be disheartened. Sure, there's no feeling worse than spending 20 hours on a video and getting 25 views. Trust me, I've felt that. I've even thought, oh, maybe I need to suck the tit of the algorithm and follow the newest and biggest trend. I could talk about the Logan Paul scam, I could talk about the FTX collapse, but to be honest, I don't care. Although of course I feel remorse for the people who were affected, but the aura I suppose of my channel is to provide value for as many men as possible since you make up 85% of my audience. But talk about finances and stem out to the gym, self-improvement and education in general. Because if I'm passionate enough about my content and then it starts picking up views, then when it all comes, the momentum will just push me even harder. But if I don't enjoy certain aspects of my content, then as soon as the views come, I just won't take the next stride. So if you yourself are in this position, just have patience. I know Gary Vee bucks on about it all the time, but it's because it's true. He's built his whole mantra about patience, kindness, and the grind, which is exactly what you should be doing. Again, my largest viewed video was 4,000 views. That was fucking cool. So I kept going. The next few videos got 20 views. Not so cool. But I kept going. So that's the mindset shift I've just started to have. Number 3. What I've learned in the past is that I need to understand my disadvantages. I have no brand and I have no story. I'm competing with Tom Bilyeu and we can talk about the exact same self-improvement habits, but he's built Quest. I can tell you to save money, invest in the S&P, but I'm not Warren Buffett and he'll get many more views for doing so. Rightly so. So I need to flip that into an advantage where I build my own story because Warren Buffett has like 70 years on me. But what he didn't have was a phone, a camera, a laptop that he can record his own story to build Berkshire Hathaway. I do. Not that I'm going to build Berkshire Hathaway, but you get my point. Number 4. I'm here to provide as much value to you as possible in return for your eyeballs. That sounds super weird, but Facebook, YouTube, Instagram are all fighting for market share of your eyeballs 24 hours of a day. They're fighting with each other, TV and radio as well. I'm also fighting with other creators through these platforms. I'm fighting with Andrew Tate, who gets hours of eyeballs every day per person. That's why he's worth so much. And he's only worth so much because he provides leverage value to his viewers and thousands sign up to his course, which he then leverages into more labor to help buy these professors, which provides even more value to the people who signed up. So people say, oh, now he's worth $1 billion. He's only doing it for himself. No, he's providing billions of dollars of value to people in the real world, people who work for him, people who are already worth millions and billions of dollars anyway that are in his network, and people on his like emailing list or just people who watch his videos in general, which I myself am one of them. The more value you put out into the world through leverage, the more you get in return. My father always said, with enough leverage, you can move the world. I tweet constantly and offer my own advice or opinion on matters. I create shorts to hopefully inspire you guys and create long form videos to provide more and more value to demonstrate to you guys. So take it all in and enjoy because I'm here for a long time to help you. Number 5, how to reach your full potential. How about we go find out how far you can go? People aren't afraid of not reaching their full potential. I look around on the street, most of them are average. And that's okay, but the fear for most entrepreneurial people is how far the potential is, but more importantly, how far they fall short. David Goggins said that his biggest fear is going up the stairway to heaven, and at the top, God shows him who he could have been, and it exceeds who he was at the end of his life. Everyone has their own form of accomplishment, not the accomplishments of what others expect of them. I haven't spoken to Elon recently, but in his own eyes, he may not see himself as successful because he knows he has a long way to helping humanity even more. But obviously, everyone outside of that believes he's attained as far as a human can achieve. So the mindset switch you got to make for yourself is how far you want to go. Do you want to paint the Sistine Chapel? Do you want to be an art teacher? Do you want to build Berkshire Hathaway? Do you want to be a salesperson? You have to differentiate what you want to do on this planet and then act from there. Number 6, the number one key to success is voluntary learning. In school, 99% of students are involuntary learning because they're forced into subjects and pathways they're not 100% inclined in participating in. They go to university or college without being 100% certain on their pathway, which is okay. But don't pay these tuitions on something you kind of like. You need to remember, you're going to be doing the same thing for 50 years. That's a long fucking time. So instead, don't waste your money, but more importantly, your time on involuntary learning for these organizations. Learn voluntarily through YouTube, books, podcasts, courses that you can then foster a business mindset to make into a career. It may take a little bit longer, but it'll be a hell of a lot more worthwhile. Number 7, and this is literally my favorite piece I've written over the last year. I've recently unfollowed a bunch of people off Instagram and I went from about 2,100 followings to 600, and it cut out all the bullshit. I've unfollowed a mix of celebrities that didn't add any value to my life and a bunch of old friends or high school people I knew that didn't add value back then and won't further on. And what I've learned is that I go on it less. And when I do go on it, my feed is much more inspiring with news, finance, motivational videos, and people I actually care about. And the best part is, the people who I unfollowed will never see this video anyway, because they didn't add any value to me. And the thing is, I couldn't care less if they saw this and got heartbroken about it. And I'm still decluttering my Instagram. I haven't quite finished it yet, but what I've learned is that's like cutting bad food out of a diet. Because what you learn is that you don't need these people. They don't add any nutrition to your life or value as a person. And you don't particularly regret cutting them out because you can do without one less negative influence. And now I have a more condensed, healthy social media experience that I look to expand on when I meet more valuable people. And expand on that, just be careful who influences you in your life. They say you're the average of the 5 people you spend your most time with. Well, you're also the sum of the 1,000 bullshit friends you have on Instagram or any social media platform for that matter. What I actually love are the interesting threads on Twitter about self-improvement, food, and money, instead about what Kanye West tweeted. And that's coming from someone whose favorite artist of all time is Kanye. So what I've done is cut people off, spend less time on social media, and when I do, have a better experience. Very impactful lesson, and highly recommend you do so too. If you believe this video added some sort of value to you, please share it with a friend who may like similar content. Comment below any questions you have that I could touch on in a future video, because I want, of course, my content curated around you guys. I hope you enjoyed. Anyway guys, heading out.